All right. Hey, how you doing? It's Wellness Wednesday. Welcome to Wellness Wednesday in the Amplified Real Estate Show. I'm Eric. I'm going to be your host today, Erick Jimenez of AHA and Amp Live. Basically, we're going to talk about Wellness Wednesday. What the heck is that? We'll have some uh, public service announcements, some things that are rolling off here for us, as well as other things that are going on in the United States of America. So, what's the premise for today? Master creative real estate investing, right? How to buy a property with zero, no money, credit, any of that good stuff, right? It's all about creative real estate investing or sub two. And how can you use sub two to fix and flip and buy and hold, right? It's an awesome thing. I'm going to go ahead and pull my mug up there. There it is. Boink. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Going to be out in the field a little bit later on as well. So we'll chit chat. We'll talk. Watch the video all the way through, forward, backward, as I drop pro tips and awesome juicy nuggets that you can use actually in the field. Just got to search for them, right? That's what I did. I had to read books, right? I had to watch CDs, things of that nature. And now, everybody has YouTube and TikTok, all good stuff, right? If you have the tolerance to read it and study it, I know when you really, really want something and you make a decision just to do it, then you'll get it done, no matter how long it takes. And sometimes you fill that wall, right? And God's like, man, what's going on? You're asking God, why can't I go through it? And then for some reason, I read some cool stuff. And I don't know, in my travels reading, said that, hey, that's just God protecting you for some reason. And you got to believe what you got to believe, right? We all believe in something. We all believe in either a higher power or a God. Some people believe in other things, that I won't get into. It's none of my business. I just know that I'm a God-fearing man. I'm not a holy roller, but I'm a God-fearing man. And that's what I believe in. We all got to believe in something. And for me, it's God, right? So in God we trust, made in America, right? And rock and roll. Rock and roll and all you do, that's my thing. That's what I'm all about. Hopefully rock and roll is like, a lot of people say I'm busy. Well, I'm rocking and rolling, right? It's kind of the same thing. But, busy's overrated. If I had I guess if I got paid $10 for every time I heard busy, 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 I'd have tons of Lambos sitting in the front yard, right? But I don't. So, because it's just a word, I get it, stuff like that. So I wanted to share, it was a cool story. It's about Think and Grow Rich. Okay, so today we're going to talk about a little bit about Think and Grow Rich. Probably going, what does that have to do with creative real estate investing? What does that have to do with, oh, this is cool. Oh, one of my old cards. Well, yeah. For real estate investing, I save everything. I guess I'm a pack rat. I save stuff that I've had 20, 30 years ago. I have goals that are written down in yellow pads that are inside of a box, and I go back and look at them and archive them. I go, wow. Yeah, and it's true. I guess if you write it down and you sign it and, and you keep moving forward and you pray, you reach out to the universe and then you go back and look at it, about 10% is going to happen. I don't know if it's just the numbers or that's just the way the universe works, controlled chaos. If you put it out there and manifest enough, can you go faster or slower? Kind of like the government's doing right now, or the current administration with warp speed, right? Boom, moving fast and quick. What can happen, right? So usually about 10% happens. I did that, didn't do that, didn't do that, and you go, oh wow, maybe I need to bring that to the forefront. I've talked to several people. I talk to thousands of people every year. And some people write their goals down. Some people don't. Some people say, I got it all right here. I get it. I used to have it all right up there too, right? And that doesn't work. You have to write the shit down. Where's my pen? You got to break out the pen. I don't even know why this is in my pocket, but this is what I was doing today earlier, is scribing and writing, and then writing it down and formulating. And you're going like, man, I keep writing this shit down over and over and over and over like a crazy wild man, and you're like, when's it going to come to fruition or fruition, right? I'm going, it just is part of it. It's part of doing that. You have to believe it. If you don't believe it, then nobody else is going to believe it. And that's the thing, right? I'm here to tell you that you can do whatever you set your mind to. If it's creative real estate or real estate investing or sub two, subject to existing financing, love that stuff. It's sub two. We love sub two where we can actually fix, flip, buy, and hold, right? That type of stuff. And using that premise. So it doesn't have to be a tight deal. Doesn't have to be a seller finance deal. Doesn't have to be a wrap. It's just, look, lock up the property, control the property, so no one can take it away from you. I've been hearing some stories about people going NC&D. Some people have been doing it 2-3 years. Some people have been doing it 9 years. I heard in the Midwest, this guy in the Midwest, 9 years wholesaling. And it's like, well, I've never heard of having to sign an NC&D Non-disclose, non-circumvent. Get one. Trust me, the world's not getting any better. So you need to get that in place, right? Non-disclose, non-circumvent. Non-disclosure, meaning, hey, we're not going to talk about the deal. Keep it private. Seller's information, everybody's information, important information about the deal. And then non-circumvent. We're not going to go around you, steal deal. You're not going to go around us, to steal deal. We're all here to work together, but it's on a piece of paper to say, hey, that we trust each other and that, we're not doing a Texas handshake. Texas handshakes are for when you have, a relationship, 5 to 10, 15, 20 years. At the end of the day, or even, whatever it is, as long as you've been working together in some capacity, then yeah, you're good to go, right? Trust each other. But in the beginning, if you don't know this person because they're from Facebook or Craigslist or, never met them, never broke any bread together, had lunch or coffee or anything, right? And even then, it's important to have. So people sometimes don't know what that is or they don't understand what it is. It's okay. Not a big deal, right? It's not a big deal, right? It's not your fault. It's just that maybe you weren't taught that or you haven't came across that yet or no one's, or you never had to use it or whatever. The bottom line is that they're there, and then there's other people that are going, well, sheesh, okay, I've never heard of one. I don't know if I need one. And others are like, well, that's interesting. Can you tell me more about that? Simply because it maybe they got circumvented on a deal or non-disclosed, and people talking about the deal and this and that, and then all of a sudden someone finds out about some intimate details about a deal, and then they go around your back, or they go to the seller, or they go to the agent, and people just do some strange things. It is what it is, right? So I always would say, like, hey, why bite the hand that's feeding you, right? And but people do it, So it's just the way when you're giving out addresses and things of that nature. If you have it under control, cool. Some people go, oh, well, I got a contract and then I got a memorandum of option. Oh, cool. That just means you placed a lien on the property and all that good stuff, right? But let's talk about Wellness Wednesday, how important it is. I'm on a quest to obviously stay healthy and to become healthier and to lose some of the gut, as you can see, right? There is, got to lose some weight here. Face will tone up and tighten up and things of that nature. Hair, hey, it's going to be what it's going to be. It's not going back, right? Unless there's some magical elixir out there for the hairdo and all that good stuff. But let me go ahead and move forward. But this book, I had a story about Think and Grow Rich, okay? When I got into sales a long time ago, and the conversation came up a few days ago, I believe. Let me see. It was about so lock in your spot. Let me see. I'm gonna bring this up here, just to not to get it out of the way, but to share it with you. If that's okay, I'd love to share this with you because look, whatever you've been through in real estate or creative real estate investing happens to a lot of us, and it's in sales. People, get stagnated, they get stuck. At the end of the day, you got to maneuver and you got to figure out ways to make stuff happen, right? And it's always adjust, adapt, or you will perish, right? Keep moving forward, keep going. Last thing you're going to want to do is give up and quit. Last thing you want to do is give up and quit, right? Because right when you're at the door of opportunity or right when something's ready to pop and happen, it will. But if you give up, then it won't, right? So that's just me at the end of the day. So that's why we have the Americans Having Americans one-on-one mentoring program. You can scan that QR code, lock in your spot. Let's talk, let's chat. Let's talk about the health of the mind, right? The health of the body. And I've heard some stuff about the teeth, right? You keep your teeth healthy and then your body's healthy and it's all connected. The brain's connected, obviously, to everything in water. I heard some stuff about people who drink a lot of water, right? Look younger than other people, right? Over the years. And yeah, I drank a lot of brewskis and alcohol when I was younger, but also a lot of water too. So I don't know. Maybe that's helped out a little bit, with the age process, or some people say good genes and things of that nature, right? Just all around health to a degree. So I do knock on wood, knock, knock, knock. And I say, thank you for that. Have gratitude every single day to God and the world and the universe and all that good stuff, right? Write, scribe, pray, and meditate and all that good stuff to get yourself going and rolling, right? But it does take action. You got to take action. You got to do it. You got to go after it. I'm not going to take too much of your time, but I did want to come out here for Wellness Wednesday, right? So I'm going to pull this up real quick because we got some cool public service announcements. This is something now, it's just an idea. So one is it's either a brain fart or it's a rock and roll awesome idea. The AHA Protege Program. And what that basically means is, look, I've been thinking and stewing upon this for a while and going, people have been asking, right? Say, look, I got the one-on-one mentoring program. That's a 6-month one-on-one mentoring program. There's the 6-week coaching program with, extra bonus of 3 months of extra coaching. We partner up, we do deals, we work stuff, done with you, done for you. And all that means is done with you means we're going to help you get into the ring and help you do deals and rock deals together. And then done for you is going to be, hey, get your system set up. Think of it as like a franchise or McDonald's. You got to get your store set up. You got to make them burgers, got to make those fries. You got to order the product and all that good stuff, and setting up a apparatus or business for real estate investing, period, right? It doesn't have to be just a wholesaling organization or even a sub-2 organization. Just call it a creative real estate investing private firm. That's what it is, after all, right? Or call it whatever you want to call it, but that's in essence is what it is. So I was thinking, you know what? We have the programs like that, right? In different tiers for different people at different levels, and we customize it based on what you're needing. So then I started thinking, people are asking, hey, you know what? I just want to ask a couple questions. Hey, you know what? I just need a couple of things to help me with my wholesale. I'm missing a couple of the pieces of the puzzle. And it'd be cool. Some have, said, hey, I'm going to pay a couple of bucks. Is that cool? Can I pay it forward this way? Pay it forward that way? And I started thinking, well, you know what? People want community. I get it. Have a community. There's a free community. There's paid communities, right? And then I started thinking, you know what? Someone tossed an idea my way and said, well, why don't you just have a membership fee, since you like coaching and mentoring, and put them all in the mix there, and then just have your schedule and rock the program over a period of time, right? Through 3-6 months, and keep it in rotation. Kind of like when you go to Sunday, you go to church Sunday, and the pastor is talking about, and the whole goal is to study the whole Bible. So I don't know how long it takes, so it's 6 to 8 months or whatever to go through the whole Bible, or going through all the chapters and what it means and all that good stuff. In between that, you're going through a bunch of other stuff to kind of enhance the whole thing about reading the Bible, understanding the Bible, and then making it part of your core, right? Kind of like Think and Grow Rich did for me, right? And for others. And then going, okay, how do you do that? And then keep it in rotation. Kind of the same thing, right? And but charging a fee, like a monthly fee. How many people would pay a monthly fee to have coaching, right? Free coaching. You get scheduling, priority time. You'll get private one-on-one, a couple, whatever amount that we put into the membership, and be able to say, yeah, here you go. Here's a couple here's not free calls, but they're calls that are in the membership, so they'd be practically free anyways. And then having a percentage off all the products and anything that comes down the wire, and do a membership. So that's kind of what I've been thinking. That would be, I think, pretty cool, because I know that if I'd probably pay for that, to be honest with you. And everybody and their mothers, I get it, they're doing it. But for us, it's always been one-on-one mentoring, smaller core, to help you kind of get started in the business and up and running, so you can have a business, right? And doing that type of thing with the consulting one-on-one, and byproduct is doing deals, rocking deals, right? So AHA, bringing AHA back. It's not that it's ever left, but AHA is a real estate investment firm. And then we have it powered by Amp Live Media. That's a media broadcasting and marketing company, right? No different than what we did in the last cycle into this cycle, but with different brands and a lot more experience on the table, right? So there's a lot of opportunities, a lot of deals that are rocking and rolling out there. So if you have deals, I don't care where they're at in the United States of America. I don't care if there's 700 people in a town, or 700,000 or 7 million. If there's a deal there and you're looking at it and it looks good, whether it's for fix and flip, maybe a wholesale deal, is it a buy and hold? Send it down the wire. Single family residential properties, commercial properties, triplexes, quads, multi-family, commercial, little strip malls with 5, 6, 7, 8 commercial retail stores is cool. Even the crazy anchor stores, we'd have to give that to someone else that's in that wheelhouse with the syndications and equity fund type thing. Everything else, send it over to us. Shoot us a DM. Definitely like and love what we got going on here, right? So I'm going to pull my mug up. It's called the AHA Protege Program. I'm going to pull this other screenshot up right there. Amp Live Media. It's powered by Amp Live Media. And then let's get to this. Let's just do a little chit chat. So I got a story for you for Wellness Wednesday, right? And with your permission, I'd like to share it with you, because I know that it helped me when I got into sales a long, long time ago, right? And it is what it is. It was the path to entrepreneurship. It was the path to, yes, I still had to, my son was born, and my second son and my daughter, had to do the corporate thing, right? And get a job and work and do all that good stuff. And at the same token, always there in the back of my mind is doing some things, right? It's sales. Sales is awesome, right? So when I got the book, well, this is the thing I did. I actually played rock and roll when I was younger. Just a little bit of history on me. At the same token, I played some rock and roll. when I was younger, and then I obviously cut off the hair and went into the corporate world and worked my butt off to move up the ladder so I can get the picket fence, buy the house, get the car, send the kids to college, and all that good stuff. But then frustration kicking in, and knowing that I'm still gonna have to make more money because it's not cheap, right? Raising the kiddos and then paying for everything, and then going, shit, we still got to retire and all that good stuff, and there's always risk involved, right? So I've always been the type to, travel the road less traveled and go in that direction with others and rock and roll, right? Because at the end of the day, you only live once. Yes, and that book has given me the power of positive mental attitude to keep rolling forward and to keep thinking and making it my core. It took me a long ass time to figure out what the book meant. I believe I got it when I was pretty young. I think it was a multi-level marketing company. And I was going to sell water filtration systems. I took a look. I think I borrowed some money from my dad to get a suit. I tied my hair back with a long ass ponytail and tucked it into my suit. So, because I didn't want to cut my hair, I said, I'm going to do this during the day, and at nighttime, I'm going to play rock and roll. And the goal was to get signed to a major label, right? Like EMI or what was it, Capitol Records. We had all the big ones back in the day, and then they got obviously gobbled up by Universal and Sony and Warner Brothers, right? Then there was a bunch of subsidiaries, Roadrunner Records. We had Nuclear Blast, we had Metal Blade Records, a bunch of independents as well. So it didn't matter how we're going to do it, but that was the goal, right? That was my goal, is to move forward and then put my money into real estate, knowing that there's two things that people need. That's housing and that's food, right? So I figured housing would be the thing. And most millionaires and billionaires have tons of real estate, and that's where their money lies. Besides, obviously now it's tech and all kinds of other stuff, right? So I'm not going to get into that, but I did want to share the story with you. It was pretty cool. I was thinking about it, and then I'm going to drop. Let's see what do we got here. I think I'm going to put this one up here. The future of real estate, which you need to know. This is pretty cool, simply because it is the future of real estate's here. You got to adjust and you got to adapt. You got to get up on technology and things of that nature. That's one thing that I've learned from the book Think and Grow Rich, and then the 17 Principles of Success. But let me get to the story. It's kind of cool, okay? So I'm going to get, let me see, we push this up right here, the future real estate. You can see me down there. Cool. All right. So story was that it was multi-level marketing, and I watched the whole presentation. I wanted to get on this person's team because they're like kicking ass, and he had a big reputation, and his team was blowing up. I go, I need to be on that team. I want to learn from him, and I want to learn from the rest of the people. So I was like, okay, cool, let's go do it. After it was all done, he said, Eric, I need to talk with you. Come over here. I said, no problem. What's up? He said, here you go. There's a book that was on the table, right? So let me go. Maybe you can get a better shot right here. So there's a book that was on the table. He had it right here in the corner. He said, yeah, pick that book. See that book right there? Check it out. So I started looking at it, and I'm going, okay, this is cool. No problem. Yeah. Okay. You want me to read this? No problem. It's good. That book's going to help you. It's going to change your life. It's going to make you think in a different way, and it's going to help you build your core that you're going to need for sales and this business and any business, right? Doesn't matter what business you go into. Even your work or job or whatever it is, it's just going to help you, period. I said, okay, cool. So I said, all right, I started walking away. I said, hey, come here. No, it's $5. $5. I was like, $5? Yeah, I put my last couple of bucks in my car to get here. And he said, well, for anybody who's going to come onto my team, you need to pick up this book. You need to pay me the $5, right? And then study it and then go sell. So I said, shit, $5. And so me being the salesperson, or at the time I didn't know, but that's what I was trying to do, is sell. And I was like, well, I need this book. This book is, if you want me to learn it, I'll learn it, and I'll sell whatever you tell me to do. I'll go sell my ass off down there, right? It's, well, you know what I mean. Sounds kind of funny, but I'm going to go sell. And he said, no, $5, and the book is yours. You need to buy it. If you don't buy it, go make some sales, and you come back and you can pay me. Took the book, locked it up inside of a cabinet, and locked it, and said, okay, let me know when you make some sales. If you need any help, give me a holler. Give my associates a holler. I'll be more than happy to help you close or whatever you need to do. So I'm like, shit, okay. So that was kind of like he was educating me, right, and saying, okay, this is what you need to do. So these premises make sense, right, because it's like we live in a capitalist world. I did read some cool stuff earlier today in a book that I was studying, and it was about pay, right? What was it? Something about pain. I should probably go get it right now. I think it's right there. But it's in regards to paying, right? If you're going to pay, when you pay, I forgot. I'm probably going to get it. One second. I want to read this. All right, let's check this out. Where's my glasses? Uh-oh, where's the glasses? Here we go. But it makes sense because free is free, and at the end of the day, people don't value free. So when they're buying a product, so yes, those attention. Sorry about that. For that shit. Those who pay attention. The more you pay, the closer attention they pay. You're actually doing your audience a huge disservice if you undervalue what you're selling. Basically, what we do, right? At the end of the day, thing is our education and things like when I got my mentor, he had to spend 40 years to figure out what he had to learn. He had to figure out how to buy the apartment buildings, how to do syndications and equity funds, and build those relationships with the Richie Rich in Santa Monica because he had some, I think it was Manhattan Beach, I believe, down there off the coast, right on the beach and stuff. So these are like expensive ass condo complexes and things of that nature, right? But so he had to over time, someone had to pay. So first, those who pay attention, right? So that was pretty cool. And it says right here, over the last decade, I've invited my friends and family members to sit in on the events and others that have paid $25,000 to attend. Not once in 10 years has a single one of those people who sat in front launched a successful company, right? So that's amazing. That always been amazing to me, and that's basically the truth. The same thing with this, right? If you don't do anything with it, nothing's gonna happen, right? Nothing's gonna transpire. But it was pretty cool. So what I did, I went and made some sales, came back, gave him $5, and then I started studying the book for years and years and years and years. And it says inside the book that once you understand the book, pop open some champagne and get to rocking and rolling, right? Because now you have arrived. And literally, I don't even know the years. I just know that it was from this span to one span to another span to having that book. And a lot of people put the book on the shelf and they'll read it one time. They'll read it a couple of chapters, or even if they can make it all the way through to one book, that's great. But then they never pick it up again, and they don't study it and become it and make it part of their core, right? And I found out that book is basically based off of a lot of other books are based off of that because it's based on character, right? It's based on principles. It's based on things that are going to help you with the human core that are attached to infinite intelligence, right? Definiteness of purpose that are attached to what? God, the Bible, higher power, infinite intelligence. Call them what you want to call them, but it does work, right? And when you learn that stuff, sometimes it's harder to do those things than it is to just pick up a hammer and go to work or whatever your job may be and using your brain. It does take a lot more to sit down and write some stuff down, figure out a plan, execute, move forward, and then navigate through the rocky waters, which a lot of people do when they get into real estate. They get into the business and they get beat up along the way, and they buy into a course and then it didn't work, or they did a couple of deals, but then they're stuck, or they keep moving forward and they're going, you know what? I need somebody to help me. I need someone to hold my hand when I don't know what to do. Do I go this way? Do I go that way? Which way do I go? Right? And it happens a lot, right? And even me, or even others that are at a higher level than I, right? And you just find mentors and other people that are going where you want to go. So that's my goal, is to help you at the end of the day. Kind of like, think of it like a doctor, right? I'll be Dr. Erick Creative, right? Dr. Erick Creative Real Estate Investing. And that's what I was thinking about the membership. Is like, get into membership, and then we're going to diagnose, hey, what's going on? You're in the wholesale business and you're trying to figure things out, and you're going, look, man, I need leads. I need quality leads, or my offers aren't getting accepted, or the offers are getting accepted, but then I can't sell them off. So I'm having a problem with dispo, or I'm having a problem with underwriting. I'm having a problem with something, right? What is it? It's very easy. After becoming an expert and you do it enough times, you can see the writing on the wall, especially when I'm talking with people and I go, okay, I know what their issue is, right? Sometimes they don't even know, but then we'll line it out. After a call, they're like, oh, I appreciate it. Or maybe they're still kind of stuck, or they're thinking, I have the answer, and then they're going to go try it out, see if they can figure it out on their own, which happens too. Or do you just say, you know what? Hey, can you help me? I want to come aboard. I want to work with you. I'm looking for a mentor, and you help me set up my business. Just rock and roll. Let's get things done, right? And then we'll offer a proposal to them. And if it were a good fit, then we'll move forward, right? And go with the onboarding process and all that lovely stuff. But I thought that was a cool story. And that's the same reason why we ask. Somebody said, well, or what was some advice said, why don't you just give the book away? I'm like, yeah, we could, I guess, but I think it's more powerful if they commit to the book, they go buy the book, and then they study the book and know that it's required reading, just like my mentor did for me. Said it's required reading. You got to read this and study it, and you better know this stuff, right? Because I'm going to ask you. It's going to be in your everyday life. It's going to be in our sales calls and sales meetings and things of that nature. And if you're not, I'll know that you've read it or not, because the guy has studied it just like me. I'll know, right? And it's only going to help you. It's going to enhance your life. It's going to do tremendous things for you if you allow it. Now, obviously, it may take 1 year, 2 years, 6 months, 1 month. Some people can read it and go, bam, I understand the book. Now, others like me took a long time, right? Because I'm working a full-time job, trying to raise kids, trying to raise family, trying to be a husband, father, all that good stuff, and and navigate through life, and then reading it and studying it, reading it, study it till you start going. You start morphing into your better self, and then even then, where life happens, right? You can get sick, you can get tired, you get burned out, you get frustrated. Some people get depressed. I say try not to get depressed. It sucks. I don't know. I guess maybe I've been depressed in the past. Who knows, right? Only other people can tell by what's going on, right, in your life or not. So I always say too, you never know what people are doing or thinking. Sometimes people are rude and you're going, wow, why are they so rude? Or maybe they're just having a bad day. You don't know what's going on in their life, right? You can't I guess you can't judge, right? Leave that up to God, right? Leave that up to God. Let him judge what's going on, and just try to be the best version of yourself. Positive attitude, stay positive, stay gracious, have gratitude every day that you get to wake up in this beautiful world with your family and friends or whatever works for you. And that's all we can, really do, and have total control of your mind. It's a little bit harder because that's really the only thing you have control over to a degree is your mind, is your mindset, right? You can decide whether you're going to be a jerk. You can decide if you're going to be evil or good or bad. You can decide if you want to get up and do anything that day or not do something or do something right. You can program yourself to change. And for some people, it's hard, right? But it's always good when you're working with people, or you fire up a book that's going to help you with that, right? Or maybe it's the Bible. Read the Bible when you go to church and you want to give to God. And there's all kinds of special stuff that helps connect. I'll just say Americans, right? But us as human beings, we're all connected in some way, right? Because we all work off of frequency and things of that nature. So that's my cool story for Wellness Wednesday. I want to talk a little bit about the strategic part of creative real estate investing. If you need to book a call, you can definitely book a call with myself, my team, right there. Scan that QR code, breakout call, and hey, just pick my brain. Write down all your questions. Take advantage of that, and been doing this, for a while, and can help you in any direction, whether it's creative real estate investing, maybe it's wholesaling, sub-2, seller finance, lease options, maybe it's just options, maybe some lending stuff, private money, hard money, traditional, all that good stuff. I'm not a lender. I'm not licensed, so an attorney either, right? I'm not a bookkeeper or a financial analyst. I don't have any insurance for anything or just say anything like that, right? All we have is the one-on-one American Mentee program, right? AHA, Americans Help Americans Buy, Sell, Fix, and Flip Property. And then AMP Live, the American Mentee program. Right? It's the only program of its kind where we train and mentor you and others across the United States of America. And AMP Live Media is powered by AMP Live Media. So that's just a marketing company that kind of pushes the education side, the coaching and the mentoring, as well as the marketing that we do for AHA, Americans Helping Americans, right? One American at a time, one property at a time, one family at a time. That's our cause and mission that I'd like to share with you and ask you if you'd like to come aboard and join us with that mission to help our fellow Americans do the same, right? Because I know when I talk to a lot of people, they all want to build a legacy. They all want to take care of their family. They all want to get out of their job. Not all of them, but some of them want to have a side hustle. Some of them want to have a business. And others are like, I want to get rid of my job and I want to, whatever it takes. Hey, if you do a deal a quarter, right? You just got to be able to, get that deal flow going. But if you do a deal a quarter, that's 4 deals in 1 year. That can change your life, right? I guarantee that'll probably replace your income in most states, wherever you're at in the United States of America. But 1 deal can change your life. 4 deals, 1 deal a quarter can really change your life if that's what you're wanting to do, or even just a part-time thing. Maybe you want to go do something else, or you want to have some vacation money, or you want to put some money away, or you want to have some assets and things of that nature. That's a lot of people do that too. But my thing here is just that I love coaching, I love mentoring, I love working with people. I love putting stuff together and branding, helping you put your brand together along with my team and all that good stuff to get you up and running. And you'll know if this business is for you or not. If it is, awesome, rock and roll. We're going to be here for another cycle. If not, it's okay. You're going to learn some powerful stuff that nobody on this planet can take away from you. That is the superpower that I'm going to share with you, right? My superpower is kind of like looking at the situation, what you got going on, and then saying, hey, let's do this, this, and this to get you to where you need to get to, right? And that's what I do. If it's structuring the deal, putting deals, the exit strategies, right? Negotiating a deal with a seller and understanding where their pain points are to provide some solutions to help them out, right? That's a beautiful feeling, by the way, when you are able to do that. That's kind of, well, it doesn't say kind of, that is what we do. That's why I started when I got into this business and said, hey, am I going to go ahead and just working for other companies, and then decided to go, hey, you know what, let's do this way, because I think it's like anything else. You go to a brokerage and they're going to run the brokerage a certain way. This brokerage is going to run that way. This company runs that way, and a lot of times it doesn't turn out the way you want it to, or they said they're going to do this and do that, and they're going to give you this and that, and then they don't give you the training, and you're like, man, that kind of sucks, right? That's why agents, when they get a real estate license, they hop around for about 2 years looking for their home, looking for a place to call home, right? And if they can make it past 2 years, awesome. If they can make it past 5 years, you'll probably be in this business forever. And I did talk to a gentleman and some other people going, do I have to have a license, right? Some people told me not to get a license, that you're better off without having a license. Well, it just depends on what your exit strategy is or what you're trying to achieve, right? If you wanted to be a broker, get your license, right? Get a license and become a broker and open up an office and go from there. And then have a private real estate firm, have a hard money firm, then have some lending in it, some title, right? So you have multiple streams of income, build that out, and then have your agents working under your brokerage and getting a piece of pie from every agent that sells, right? And you build a team, like a team lead. You got your coordinators, your transaction coordinators, you got your listing agents, buyers agents, no different than a real estate firm. Can you duplicate that in the private sector? Yes, it's called a private real estate firm. And you do the same thing. So if you're wanting to do that, definitely reach out and I'll work with you on how to set that up, how to work it, and how we can work together to do deals. So the theme for the rest of the 2025 is, yes, we're going to be experimenting with different types of ways to bring more people to the table so we can share our cause and mission. And hopefully that you, with our permission or your permission, is that you adopt that cause and mission. And that's the goal, is to go out and help some other fellow Americans. You go out and help some other fellow Americans, because now you have a superpower we've shared with you that you can go and help others do, right? And buying a property subject to existing financing or sub 2 instead of the wholesaling, right? If you're wholesaling, cool, that's just to make some money, put it back in your pocket. But at the same token, do some wholesaling to make some friends. Or maybe it's a sub 2 deal to fix and flip, and there's equity in it, right? And you're going to go take it down and fix and flip and do whatever you need to do. But all those creative real estate investing methods and techniques are super fun. We'd love to share it with you at the end of the day. So I'm going to wrap this up because I don't want to take too much of your Wednesday. But definitely like, love, and share. Watch the videos. We appreciate it. Let me see what else we got here. I wanted to share that story. It's pretty cool, I thought. I think we got one more thing. We got Friday highlights coming up as well. I'm going to be in, I believe, Chino Hills or Rancho Cucamonga. I do have this for sure. I talked to somebody in regards to, I think they're doing some door knocking stuff, and they're going to do this door knocking thingy here, right? So I believe you can scan that QR code. It may take you to a link. And old school with new school, right? I think what happened with this young man, he was door knocking, got some deals, and then he shifted gears, said, well, I'm going to start making phone calls, 2 months. But he had like a really crazy accent, so I can see why he wasn't closing stuff or getting appointments on the phone. So he said, I'm going to go back to door knocking. He's a presentable person, friendly demeanor. So that's probably why it worked when you go on the door knocking route, right? Most people are going to go, man, I want to drive. I don't want to do the deal machine or property radar. I don't want to, put together, all the, whatever data they're going to use to go door knock. And some people are afraid of door knocking. And yes, you should probably go with somebody, right? Don't ever go by yourself. I don't recommend that. But you should know what you need to do when you're at the door. And that's the thing. So he's more like an appointment guy, and then set an appointment, throw in the closer, and roll it. I got this another brain fart or an awesome idea, and that's just the door knocking thing. Instead of just taking people out to teach them and share with them, it's like, no, we're out there to do deals, right? And the only time people show up and return is when they have some skin in the game, or they're gonna write a check or pony up some cashola, right? Or they're part of a team and they're papered up, or part of a company or whatever, right? So that can work too. We're going to try to figure this out where we can actually set that up, do it on a Friday, 5-6 hours of maybe training, maybe a little bit longer, depending. There'll be no time limit, of wholesale one-on-one, what it's all about, a little creative real estate with some sub two and other strategies, just to sprinkle some icing on the top, or some sprinkles on your sundae or banana split, if you want to call it that, right? And then Saturday, go into the field, break some bread, some coffee, some donuts, whatever, and then boom, go into the field to rock and roll some deals. And the goal is to get into those houses, make some offers, help some fellow Americans that day, and while others get to listen in somehow, some way, and figure out how we can do all that good stuff without violating anybody's privacy and things of that nature. Or maybe just the one who actually gets in the door gets the privilege of getting that extra awesome learning that I got a long time ago when I got a mentor, and and got to listen in, right? So it's a beautiful, lovely thing, I think. And I think that would be a better use of time as for a master class or a boot camp, or whatever the heck you want to call it, for a 2-day event, Friday, Saturday. Most people want to be home with their family on Sundays. So I'm not sure if a third day would even be worth it, unless we need 2 days of education, right? But I think it's going to be the easiest part. It's not wholesaling is not rocket science. It's pretty easy to figure out and learn. How to find the leads, how to break down the deals, how to underwrite them, and then how to talk. The most important part is talking with the sellers, right? Because if you can't talk with the seller and you can't get into the front door and you can't present your pitch, then you have no deal. You have to give up your money to a closer, right? So someone's going to close that deal. And then even then, you're going to bring someone else in to do the money and the fix and flip. We'll be part of that. We'll bring the hard money. We'll bring the lending part. We'll bring the closing part. The part that you're going to be part of, I think, with this would be, hey, you get in and you learn. Or if you're already seasoned, no problem. Let's just reaffirm that we're on the same page. Let's go out and we'll go rock some deals, right? And all make some money together. That's going to be the premise. And for us, it'd be like, is it worth that time, right, to spend with people? But hey, maybe not. Is it a brain fart, or is it an awesome deal, right? So we'll find out. But that's been on the table for a while. And I know Mr. Ray, put him in charge of all that good stuff for here to be able to do that here in Southern California. So I think it was good conversation I had with the young man. But everybody's got their jam. They're going to do what they're going to do. So I would say make a hybrid of it, and always try to do it better than the others, right? That's the end of the day. Try to do it as best as you can for yourself and for the team. And I think that'd be awesome, right? Because then you're part of a team, part of a community. We're all learning together, and we'll be out in the field, and you're either going to learn some wholesale stuff or some sub two stuff, or maybe it's going to be a short sale. It might be, hey, if we get moving forward and we're talking to the bank, whoever helped us lock up or get into the door or got the appointment is going to learn, right, that part. And maybe you jump into a membership so you can go, hey, what's transpiring with this property, right? Alan got this property and this is what's happening. He got to go inside and hear all that lovely stuff. But then we take it maybe, on a live call inside of a membership area where we're going, let's talk about Alan's deal. Let's talk about what transpired. Let's talk about how it went through. Let's talk about what we're doing. Are we going sub two? Are we going to go wholesale deal? Are we going to take it cash? Are we going to fix it, flip it? Or we got to talk to the bank? We have to negotiate with the bank. Is it going to be a short sale? So you never know where your education is going to go, right? Which is an awesome, beautiful, lovely thing, as long as we build that foundation, right? So now you got me, I got myself talking here, right? Because we're talking shop pretty much. But my goal here is to make it as easy as possible for you at the end of the day, and vice versa. I'm picking the right people to work with and then moving forward, and I think this would be an awesome thing to do. So it definitely is on the table along with the membership thing. I think maybe tying them together, and then you let us know, in the DM. Maybe you're watching this. You go, hey, how much would you pay for a Saturday to learn, Friday to learn, and then Saturday go out in the field with the possibility of you being a part of a deal, right? If you're able to get inside the door, set an appointment, right? And move forward. That'll be the incentive, right? Who can get in the house, right? Turn it into a game of some sort, and let's make money together. So I think that would be an awesome, awesome thing. I'm going to put my mug up here, and then I'm going to go ahead and switch this back out. So what do we got here? I'm not sure. Let me see. What time is it? 40 minutes and counting. Here's the link to join us. Some more door knocking juiciness right there, right? So it doesn't matter, right? Male, female, let's rock a row together. Let's see what we got. And we'll give you out materials. So you'll be at the door. It's either going to be a flyer, postcard. I guess the young man said something about like paper plates and stuff, or Post-its, and whatever's needed. So just to get into the door, or put it on their door. If they're not there, we'll give you stuff like this that we can either in a half flyer, full flyer, postcard, Post-it, Post-its, whatever's needed to basically get a call back. There's some of the other marketing that we'll provide for you. Excuse me. And remember, you have access, and when we're working together, we'll have access to either, do the lending part, the hard money part, the fix, the flip, the buy and hold, or whatever. Just give us some suggestions on what you think you would want to pay for, something like that, for a Friday and a Saturday, right? To go into the field and have the potential to do deals, learn wholesaling 101, learn some creative real estate investing, learn some sub 2, right? We're going to do sub 2, fix, flip, buy and hold is going to be the theme, right? So that's what we're always going to be going towards, and I'm going to share it with you. See what else? The membership, I don't know. I was thinking $47, $49 to $97 to $500 a month, depending on what's involved with something like that. Because I know I would probably pay that to get access to someone who had the education or had the experience to help me and be able to tap in and out whenever I needed to, right? So you figure, for the price of some Starbucks, 3 or 4 times a week, easy peasy. It's an investment in yourself, I always say, right? So that I thought that was pretty cool. What else we got? If anybody's wanted to get into the one-on-one mentoring program, yes, all we ask is take care of the hard costs. And young men like this, I believe it's right here, Lock in Your Spot one-on-one mentoring program. You got Mr. Victorious right here, right? And his bling bling and his collectible business. And it's definitely opened up his eyes as far as, entrepreneurship and doing things that matter, right? Because it's almost like mentoring for real estate and a mentoring life coach, right? Where they bleed together because we're both on the same page, studying the same books and the same things, right? And moving forward towards the same goal, right? And that's to obviously have some financial freedom, to have some freedom, and have some assets and things of that nature, and share the cause and mission with others across the United States of America. Okay, so scan that QR code and lock in your spot. I'm going to go back to the top, and I'm going to close it up with the American Mentee program, true one-on-one mentoring. Your host, obviously, that's me, Eric of Amp Live, the Amp Real Estate Show. You can lock in your spot with that QR code. You can always hashtag get Eric Paul Live, get Eric Paul Live on social media. A bunch of stuff and videos probably come up. Definitely DM myself or someone will get in touch with me at the end of the day, and we'll get together and see if we're a good fit. Also, if you have deals, send them down the wire. We appreciate it. Shoot them through the DM. If you have my number, text them to me. If you have my email, send them over. We'll look at them. We'll underwrite them. If we can do something with it, we will, right? We'll get you an offer, or we'll run it through our network with your permission. We'll get you a JV contract and an agreement, and do the NC&D, get that on file so you feel all nice and warm and fuzzy inside. And let's move some inventory, right? We're either going to do the acquisitions and acquire your stuff, or we can help you dispo it. Either way, something that's open for 2025 as well. Focusing, rocking and rolling with AHA, Americans Helping Americans. And that is our goal. So if you have those deals, throw them down the wire. It doesn't matter what it is, single family, multifamily, commercial property. It could be land, yes, or even tapping in and looking at land now. Not to jump, we're not like, trying to absorb everything, but the foundation's the foundation, right? Everything is based on creative real estate investing, right? And leverage, and kind of going sub two anything, sub two taxes, sub two existing financing, subject to whatever we want it to be inside of that addendum, right? And then putting a deal together that's beneficial for the seller, investor, and then us. We get paid last, always last on the totem pole. Take care of the seller first, then the investors, and then us. And if there is no investor, then, you know, seller's always number one. Take care of the seller first, okay? And putting it to the bank of good, and everything's good to go. So without further ado, rock and roll and all what you do. Thank you for watching Wellness Wednesday in the Amplified Real Estate Show. One more PSA announcement. If you have anybody, or if you're out there and you're like, man, I'm spinning my wheels, I had a conversation with you, Eric, you know what, and you want to be a guest on our live or podcast, definitely reach out. Love to share, love to pick your brain and see what's going on in your area, wherever you're at in Texas, Tennessee, Florida, Montana, you know, Oregon, Washington, you know, different parts of Texas, Southern California, Northern California, doesn't matter, anywhere in the United States of America. I'd love to have you on, pick your brain, see if we can diagnose what you need to do to help you, and then point you in the right direction, and then catch up maybe like a month later to see what's going on, right? And see how you're doing. I think that would be awesome. If you're game for that, that'd be another brain fart or awesome idea, right? So that's on the table as well. Love to. So if you're thinking about that, or maybe you're okay with it, you're like, yeah, I'd love to. And it's going to help you get some exposure anyways, because you're going to go live. We're going to talk. We're going to chat. We'll do some open Q&A and see what's going on. And I think that'd be an awesome thing. Or if you know anybody who can provide some value, and you know, love to pick their brain on whatever they're doing, real estate wise, or wholesaling, or sub two, or if you got something cool that's happening, or software that's emerging, or a product, definitely reach out and shoot a DM. Or we can schedule a live podcast or a live Facebook going across different platforms all at one time. And then you can do whatever you need to do to monetize the videos and whatever else. But I think that'd be awesome as well, since we're doing this, right? And first and foremost, I'd like to say thank you to all past, present, future mentees of America, and you know, definitely appreciate you know, believing in us at the end of the day, watching this stuff. I know people watch it and they watch the videos and try to take whatever you can and put it into your lives and put it into your business. If you need help with anything, definitely reach out. Let me see. We'll go back here. See if we can do that. There we go. Boink. So definitely reach out, because I love to help you. We'd love to work with you. Let's do some deals together. Let's make it reciprocal. Let's rock and roll together. Rock and roll in all what you do. Made in America, right? In God we trust. And let's look forward to the future and opportunities that are before us. We're here. Let's do it together and work together to make things happen. All right? Rock and roll. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.